Howdy, folks. Cody here with IronVerse Comics. How you doing this evening? Oh, I see somebody's in. Let me look at a better angle here so I can actually read chat. Oh, talking to my bot. That's who's here. Howdy, Stream Elements. Good to see my robots working. Robots here to keep me company. Well, I'll let this go for a couple more minutes. I'm here. I'm just kind of getting comfy and set in. As folks roll on in, let me know if you're here. Ah, howdy, Laguna. Right here, you're listening to Showdown at Cody's by Laguna Munta. I'm going to go ahead and let that finish while I get a little bit more set, folks. Again, thank you for being here. It's another great Friday night to talk comics and shoot the shit and have a couple drinks. Glad to have you with me. Alright, that was Showdown at Cody's by Laguna Munta. Bitchin' Jack Irons track. Fucking love it. How you guys doing? Good to see you, Laguna. I'm so glad you showed up. Always a pleasure. Mighty Geek Studios, thank you. Lots new, you know, every minute, every second's new, Mighty Geek. But we'll get there. I don't have too much, but I'll have some things to talk about, and we can go from there and figuring it out. What's new? Happy to have you. Thank you for showing. Thank you. Let's see if I can keep this quiet in the background. Otherwise, I'll just have to go ahead and leave it be. I wouldn't mind a little something in the background. Keep me going though. Keep my flow a little bit less determinate on just me. So yeah, been a quieter week. Less to talk about this week than last. Last week I had the Vertigo segment kind of lined up. This one, not so much I could line up. So I'm kind of going off the cuff again, and these ones are a little bit rougher when they're off the cuff. So bear with me, folks. The guidance may not be there, but the heart is. I'm right here for you. If you have any questions, I'll get to them as I see them. I appreciate those very much. This is an AMA, so any question really. If I don't want to answer it, I'll answer it by telling you I don't want to answer it. So that's how you'll get. But nonetheless, let's see. Make sure my mic's getting picked up. Yep, it should be. Just also had to compare it to the thing in the background. Yeah, we're good. Yeah. So, the book is finished. Issue number 2 of Jack Irons, The Steel Cowboy. It is done and at the printers. Sadly, though, the thing with printers is they have schedules. They have to outline for these mass printings. And in Jack's case, we hit it at a time where we have to wait a month till I can get my proofs. This has been explained to backers, and I think I even maybe explained it last live stream, but nonetheless, it's disheartening for me. But I still have no right to complain, as our backers have not complained about the lateness of our books. And for novices, I very much appreciate the grace our fans are giving us on that, and I really am excited to get number 2 out. There's going to be a lot going on there. That's going to help me take the next steps forward. We got something else really big that should be expected by now, coming up in July. I'm super excited for. So my hope is end of July, I guess is what it is. End of July. My hope is that during July we'll be fulfilling and people will start seeing Jack 2, and I can finally not be one of the few people who have seen it. a book will really show what it is when it's out to enough people, and that's what I want to see. I want to see what this is. I adore it. It's beautiful work, some of the best work coming out of indie right now in terms of artwork. I'm not tooting my horn. I'm tooting my team's horn. I adore my team. They are extremely talented. You don't find their work like theirs anywhere else, and I'm very privileged to be able to present it to you folks and to have it channeled through my pretty ridiculous set of ideas that they're a lot of fun. But we'll see, and that's why that's where that is. I'm super excited about that. That's the extras, everything about this book, and so I've been sitting on it forever, and can't wait. Looks like we got some more things in chat. Sorry about all the too. It seems to be my stall tonight. I'm gonna try to be cognizant of it, but I will at times either choose silence or the take it as you will. Folks, welcome Albino Thunderbuns. Just saying that made my stream sound better. Albino Thunderbuns. Huh. What is the flight speed of a laden swallow? Are they carrying the coconut or not? Right? I believe I've been asked that before, and I bet, thanks to the magic of the internet, I could take it even more literally. But you guys don't want that. Monty Python references are great by themselves. You don't need the actual top flight of a laden swallow, I don't think. Unless you do. If you really want it, I don't mind wasting some time looking at a swallow flight speed. But I think you guys are here for the comics, right? And for the comic talk and for IronVerse Comics. So that was a short update on issue 2. I should go back into... I guess there's going to be some ums too. Not just us, but we'll also get some ums and silences. We'll look at... What should I do there? I think I will... Well, a lot of this has been covered, but, how many people hear it? So I'll go from there, I guess. So I did that very quick mini update on issue 2. There's not much more to do until I can get it out in the wild, and then I'll have plenty to say. If you guys have questions about that process or anything about issue 2, please go ahead and put that in chat, and I'll get to it. But besides that, I guess I'll move on. After issue 2 is printed and shipped, we have something else coming up. So I'm hoping people will look forward to that something else. I'm not involved to the same degree I am with Jack, but it is an IronVerse Comics project, and I am super excited to see it come to fruition. There's a lot of beautiful artwork coming in, and really can't wait to share it. This second project, but we'll get there. It's piecemeal. Just one step at a time, trying not to step on any toes or get stepped on. I have, first of all, true fans know that the good stuff takes time. It doesn't have to, Mighty. I totally am with you. I'm super stoked, and I agree. If something really good, I would rather have something take longer to be deliver a good, if not a much better product, than something rushed and might as well not even exist. Everybody probably is like that, except for shareholders and when it comes to money. But that being said, you're not owed any of that. You promise somebody who invests in your project and your work something at any specific times or within a specific time frame, and time after time you're learning that you promised the wrong one. Yeah, you need to work on that, and I'm very well trying to. With issue 3 of Jack's campaign, we're actually should be able to knock out issue 3 way quicker than issue 1 and 2 stuff. Not only do I have the team signed and do I have everything and all my ducks in a row now, which took this whole time to really get any kind of machine going. But we're starting ahead on some things. Same with this new project that's going to be out on Indiegogo in July, late July, I believe. Might be August, but I think it's late July. we've got more of a knowledge and more of a footing now, and that's only thanks to people like you who supported us and got us, literally bought us the time and the resources to be able to let me carve some kind of space out for this. And I'm hoping I can continue to carve out a wider space and give more and more opportunity to incredible talents, and to see my ideas come to fruition and see if people like them or not. So far, people like number 1. Number 2 is a 4-year improvement, both on Maxi's skills and mine. So I'm really excited to see people's reactions between 1 and 2. And of course, this other project that's going to be coming is completely out of the park and absolutely perfect for IronVerse Comics when put next to Jack. And I really want to see people's reactions once we got all of that out, and you start seeing what Team IronVerse Comics is trying to build as a cohesive storytelling universe with a bunch of different characters, and then hopefully infinite opportunity for other creators. But again, one step at a time. I got one book out and not even out to everybody yet, so I'm trying to be cautious and not put too many feet forward and then just fall on my face. Let's see. Let's look. Yep, Stream Elements doing what it's supposed to do. I actually am running more bots for my social media stuff than I should be, including the Discord and the well, actually Discord and this. Those are the only 2 I really run bots, but I'm running way too many. They're good though. They're helpful. I don't need Stream Elements though. I could program it into one of the other 2 bots I have. But this is working, so whatever. Definitely go ahead, check out Cactus Coyote. There is a reason I've been pushing it so hard for the last few months alongside Jack. You folks will see soon. If you want any merch, of course, that link above that Cactus Coyote link, please. Those little extra bumps for merch sales really make me feel good. It really helps fund everything I'm trying to do, because I didn't make much of anything off of Jack. Certainly not compensated, financial compensation equal to the amount of time invested, but the time invested was rewarded. I'm not bitching about that at all. With the footing, with the communication, with friends, with the networking, everything was rewarded. I'm not bitching about that. It's just, if we want to make this into a business that continues to give people these entertaining products, we got to get somewhere financially, and so I got to always keep that in mind. And first step, this homegrown merch on Teespring. Get all kinds of shit. There's all kinds of good stuff. I'm probably our number 1 buyer of merch, because I did that. I got a mug I love. It's my coffee mug every morning. I got a couple T-shirts that are just the designs from the artists that we've got and applied to our merch. Or just IronVerse Comics is blessed with a plethora of talent that I don't know how it got there, but I want to keep supporting it, growing it, and hopefully continue to upping the reward for them sticking with us. Laguna says, I so hard my videos, man. No worries. I think a lot of people do. It's a mental block. It gives you the break you need to think. You need to train. I guess for broadcasting and for like speech and for flow and all that, you need to train that out and actually replace it with a silence. But that's difficult. You actually literally have to take control and notice you're about to do that, and that's no fun for stream of consciousness speaking. Mighty Geek says, my friend, you promised your readers something good, and keep inspiring others to be creative. I really appreciate that. I did indeed promise something good. No question there. I wouldn't deliver a pile of crap. I wouldn't be in it. When I started, when I was first looking for an artist, I would have delivered crap just to get it done. But at this point, not only have I seen that other people want something good from us, but that we can deliver something beyond what I thought would have been good. So I'm not letting it fall below that level. I think we're just going to continue to improve. We're all young men in Team IronVerse Comics, basically everybody, and so it's there's always more room for growth and improvement, and I bet you'll be seeing that if we stick around long enough. You'll see all these talents really carve out their little niche, and I'm stoked for it. And I appreciate you folks for inspiring me to keep being creative by showing up, saying hello, supporting our projects, by buying them, and by just showing others that you like them. Fan art is just so much wonderful stuff you guys have done for us. And then as long as you keep inspiring, we'll keep trying to do the best to do the same. Keep that infinite cycle going. Let's see. Is there something specific I can deal with? I did do a new layout this week, and I learned how to integrate a short video, so I thought that was kind of cool. It was at CO Snow on Twitter. I believe it's at Snow Knight 67 or something like that. I feel so bad. Did these wonderful little short GIF kind of animations for Jack. Way back when I started. First time I saw Jack animated, man. Oh my god, it blew my mind. So, you know, if I can find the guy again, he changed his handle and I lost it. That's the problem with fan art, is if they're not giving you their name or something that'll stick and not change. How I saved fan art is I'd save the picture and then I'd save the picture as the username or handle, or if I had the name of the person, I'd save it as the name of the person. But most pieces are from anonymous internet handles. Sometimes those change. And sadly, CO Snows did change. I believe he does still follow me, so hopefully he'll show back up again, and I can make sure all that works. He did a third one also that has another character in it, but I don't think I have that one saved. This is the first one, though, that you see up in the upper right corner there. Absolutely adore it. There's a second one that also has Regina from Rags and Nerd Wonder, the comics personality, there, and that one's fun too. It's a little bit longer and a lot more involved than this little standoff up in the corner. Cool stuff. Laguna says you gotta rock your own merch. Well, no shit. I mean, it's free advertising space if nothing else. Well, not free, but you don't have to negotiate with anybody to use it. So that's always cool. And honestly, I just love the work. I would buy the images even if they weren't from my work. They're wonderful images. Is the music intrusive at all? I don't think it is. I think it's actually a little quiet, which is fine with me. I just want to make sure it's not distracting or, like I said, intrusive. Intrusive would be the word. Yeah. Let's see. That's nothing there. Let's see. Sorry, guys. I might actually, you know what? I think that's it's time for that first drink. That might get me going. I'll go ahead and turn on some music from our very own Laguna Muta. Find that instead of playing what's in the back here. While I do that and take a couple minutes. Again, thank you all for being here, dealing with this ragtag thing. I think if I can keep it going for a year or two, this will actually be something much more worth your time. But for now, the fact that you're here at all, thank you so much. You gotta put yourself out there. You gotta believe in your work, believe in yourself, and if you're in a team, believe in your team. And when that's rewarded by any attention, it means the world. It makes all the difference, folks. It makes all the difference. Thank you. Thank you so much for being here, and I'll be right back.
face I've known so long. From the day I've been drugged with things that all gone wrong, I felt out of place in a house built like mine, wearing what looked like my clothes and a watch telling me familiar time. Things are strange, am I who you think? Feeling rearranged every time I blink. Every time I blink. Every time I blink. Seeing things that I should remember from long ago. Names and dates that slip away, not sure of what I know. When did we paint the walls? Did they always look like that? Was the room always so small? Were the floorboards always cracked? Do I belong to you? Know my face? Do you feel wrong caught in space? Faces are distorted like a fuzzy photograph. Things that would have made me cry can only make me laugh. Everyone's staring at me with expressions unattached. I'm who I've always been. My world's been mixed and matched. Been here too long. I've gone too deep. This is where I woke up, baby, but now where I went to sleep. Throw out a line, I'm on the brink. Shifting out of phase every time I blink. Every time I blink. Every time I blink.
All right, folks. I'm back. Got one in me. I think I'll maybe be a... Well, we'll see. That was Every Time I Blink by Laguna Munta. Please check out his channel. I linked in the chat. I actually linked his amazing music video for that very song in the chat, too. That'll take you straight there. Oldest friend and hell of a musician. And please support the independent arts. If nothing else, that's why a lot of us are here. I don't care if it's music, drawing, independent arts. Just we need variety out there because we're not gonna get it anywhere else anymore. That's why I'm here. Yeah, see, can I get tagged for just saying Sega? I don't know. Well, we'll find out. That's kind of why I do this. We're gonna see how far I can push this. It's actually covers of tunes that are adapted, so you think there's a couple layers there. But I don't know how YouTube works, so I can learn, and that's how you do it, is by doing. So I don't know if there's any questions in chat about anything, but I would appreciate some. If not, though, no worries. I can keep venting a little bit. Yeah, Laguna's right. Exactly. There's a lot of paths up to the top and doing your own thing and trying to get it aware is one of the most honorable. It's just one of the hardest as well. So we always, every one of us independent artists, say, every single like, every second you spend on our streams, every moment you spend listening to us, you know, it makes all the difference. That adds up quick. And if we can get mainstream, that's another thing. But that's a 1 in a million success. If you can carve out a living out of what you love to do and the art you want to put out, then that's all that really matters. And that's why I'm here. What I'm trying to do for my artists. And you know, if at some point I might start doing comic interviews. If I can get the guest thing working right, I think I have an idea how I want to do guests. And I think it'll work. I just haven't tried it yet. Might try it tonight. I was going to start taking guests if they wanted at about 8 my time, so about 33 minutes. I would open it up to guests. That'd be great if we can. Just the test, but then again, it could be a shit show because it's a test and doesn't work. But who knows? Nonetheless, I would like to start doing that kind of stuff too. I think having somebody to bounce off of and supporting indie comics and learning more and more about my area of operations is always a good idea. That's what I want to do. So we'll see if I can get there. I actually have another mic to try at some point too. This one is probably what I'm going to use. The other mic actually is stereo, which is a trip, and it's been used to record music and such. It's a really good little mic. Just didn't have the length, and I still got to figure out how I want to mount it. It's a different kind of mic than the headset I'm using right now. Right now it's just a headset. It's a really nice mic. Conceptually though, we'll see if I can get it working. Maybe by next week. That would be great. Or maybe I'll do a recorded video review or another indie comic showcase. It's been a while since I did that. Might be worth it. So maybe you guys will see it then. Who knows? Or hear it then. You won't see it. I ain't showing you anything. So, Laguna asks, what major comic would you cross Jack into if I could? It's a tough one. I tried to make Jack so he kind of fit in most anything. But for the most interesting dynamic, I've answered this question before, and I would like to give a different answer every time because there's so many possibilities, and all of them could be good. I answered last time Hellblazer, because I think there would be an interesting story with John trying to figure out what the fuck Jack is with Jack in a kind of a one-shot, neither DC, oh god, what do they call it? Elseworlds. In an Elseworlds crossover is what it would be. So it's not really John, but it's John. It's not really Jack, but it's Jack. I think that's what I would do, is like a one-shot graphic novel with Hellblazer and Jack. But I'd like to give something else. Another good crossover. There's so many I would like, but I don't know how good they are. It would every character that you pair him up with, it would really determine on leveraging why Jack is there and why this character is there in that story. So I think I would want to cross him over with anybody if whoever I'm working with, or whoever wanted to use Jack, or if I had a good idea for this other thing. You know, it depends on the story for me more than it depends on the characters, so it's really hard for me to say, because I think you could do a great story with Jack and anybody if it's written right. That's a tough one. The likelihood of anything like that, though. The one I think that might be attainable that would be kind of fun is like a Hellboy. Do Jack and Hellboy. That would be fun. The BPRD go out and looking for this immortal, and they stumble onto him looking for something a lot meaner than him. And we do some kind of adventure with that. I'd enjoy that. 2 microphones and a turntable. I don't know what the turntable's for, but yeah, I do have a left-right microphone. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. Do you want me to do DJ scratches in this? Because that could work. If I stick my foot in my mouth or something, then you go, you know, something. I don't know. Huh, not sure what you're referring to there. And then the bot butts in, telling you again, please go ahead, read Cactus Coyote. I think it's set to every 5 to 10 minutes or every 10 messages. So that's why it's so frequent. Again, more people would be so bad, but it's not so bad. I want you guys to read that. It's free. Go read Cactus Coyote. It's excellent. It's not grade A, you know, AAA work, but it's indie artists doing what they love to grow something they love, and it really shows what we want to do with the space end of the IronVerse. What leads to Jack's World really being what Jack's World is. A lot of good stuff. Laguna says Jack versus Vandal Savage. That would be a fun one. Vandal in the Justice League Unlimited cartoon ends up outliving everybody and learning that he fucked up killing everybody. Jack would outlive everybody and know that the whole time it would be God, I guess how I would do it, and people would probably hate me because I don't have the education, but you'd want to do it as a discussion. I would do it as a trapped in a small space, and then having the positive immortal of Jack, the one who doesn't want to butt in with things and just kind of let the world be what it is, despite him having this lot of power. And then there's Vandal, who has all the similar kinds of power and wants and thinks he knows best for the world. And you'll find in IronVerse Comics, there's only 4 things that really felt they know best for the world, and they don't like each other. And everything else that's that strong, it mainly just wants to be left to its own devices. And I'm excited to explore that in IronVerse Comics. Really excited. Issue 3 introduces... Issue 2, the last page, introduces another major player in IronVerse Comics. And Issue 3 has a lot to do with Jack and this other player. And there's a lot of fun stuff and works with this other player. Main point is there's a consistency between a lot of our main characters. And I'm looking forward to exploring it. And they contrast with the binding glue of the IronVerse, which is its antagonists. I'm really excited. Really excited. Very hopeful. I'm just pissed I have to wait a month after I finally I went as fast as I could to get this book ready, and then there's a month you can't do anything but just sit here and talk about it. It's at the printers. That's fun. To be honest, that's a part of the work I don't like. 100% avoidable with scheduling. 100%. That's I'm bitching about something I put on myself. So don't worry about that, folks. If we could keep a consistent schedule and, like I said, make a machine out of our process, then this wouldn't be a worry. We'd have it by the time, and then we'd know when the printer would do it, and then there wouldn't be any empty space in between. But we're not there yet. We're close. We're close. Issue 3, and if not Issue 3, Issue 4's campaign, we should have a damn machine built. But we'll see. Always got to be a we'll see there. Excuse me for a second. I'm going to burp, and you folks don't need to hear that. Just have it announced, because, that's polite. All right. Let's see. Anything inspirational here? Inspiration. No. Okay. Well then. Oh, I better skip this one. I'll play the whole thing. This is a classical. I should be okay. Yeah, folks. Again, always gonna be way grateful for you being here. There was one question I put out on Twitter, usually the Thursday before this, a thread where you can drop questions if you have any. The first week I did it, I actually got quite a few, and it was very helpful. I was very appreciative. The last couple, it's been pretty quiet, but no worries. Happens every day, happens all the time. But we did get one here, and it would be wrong for me not to answer it. I just don't know how to answer it. Tycade Tyler asked, Sailor Moon variant of Jack when? So, yeah, that's not planned, Tycade, obviously. It was a joke question. But, I don't even know what I want to do about variants. We did, so I learned from the Rag team and their stumbles. Thank goodness they're friendly and kind enough to help share that here and there. But through their struggles, I've learned a couple things about the speculation market on comics, and how important it is to make sure your printings are differentiated very, very clearly and that your print numbers are locked. So we did that with issue 1, and we're going to do that with issue 2. But people who didn't get this first Indiegogo for issue 1 and 2, or just got the digital, well, they want the book. And so you want to do a reprinting. Well, obviously, on the back of our books, Wicked puts which printing it is. It's not hard to look for it. But we do something a little bit more so that you can obviously tell. You can see what we're going to do with issue 1 in particular. I don't know issue 2 yet. With issue 1, the cover is different. It is not different enough to be called a variant, however. And you'll see. Our digital issue, if you look online, has a pound sign in it 1 instead of issue 1. Little things. It's also more zoomed in on Jack. It's going to be tweaks, not variants. And so I don't know if Jack will ever do variant. For an indie book that's not marketed that way, it's not about the character's aesthetics so much. Though I love Jack's look. For instance, Rags, they do variants. They do not a ton. They don't do Marvel level variants. God, was it 16 covers on a book sometimes? My God, folks. But they do. They do a few different versions that are only available through their Patreon. That's a great hook to get that consistent funding to keep putting out your book, paying your art team, and giving them a living. Wonderful job there. Wonderful. But they also they have a streamer, a popular streamer, as the face of their book, for 1. And for 2, it's also a nude-ridden book if you get the uncensored. And if you get the censored, it's nude still, but you get the censored bars. It's not naked. I guess it's naked for Patreon. And I think there's a couple other ways to get it uncensored. But it's a different market. It's a different demographic. Even though it's the same, it's comic fans. It's a different niche of comic fans. It's the ones who buy She. It's the ones who buy Witchblade. In terms of looking for the sexy lady. And then he does cosplay pinups and things like that. A very smart business model and continuously puts out content because of how he does it. Wonderful business model. I have no idea how to glean anything useful from besides avoiding the mistakes they did with the speculation market. I don't think Jack, since he's not part of a quote-unquote major indie small press publisher, he's part of a newfound one, I don't think anybody's looking at him to flip. So we're not going to have the troubles he did, but I'm stepping in front of it anyway. And there's little things like that I don't know as stepping into this cold last year. There's so many little nuances about making comics that I had no idea. I just wanted to write comic and see the art. But that's not how this world works at the moment. Even if I was going the mainstream route, you have to make your bones in indie. It's just there's no other way. So no matter what, you had to find some way to get a foot in indie. And I'm lucky I was able to do it through a creator-owned property. Because I don't know with what would be my resume looking to write somebody else's indie book. Yeah, I just don't see that happening. And I don't think my writing's bad. Again, issue number 1, there's pacing issues, but that's what I'm doing with Jack. It's going to be very hard to, especially this first arc, it's going to be very hard to get a consistent pace, which you don't always want a consistent pace. You want ups and downs, but a smoother transitional set of paces. Issue 2 hopefully did that. Issue 3 hopefully did that, but we'll see. The first arc of Jack, it's a lot of really throwing you head first into the IronVerse, and there's a lot of cogs there that I don't want you not to know. I use a lot of double negatives. I'm going to need to work on that. That I want you to know. And I have to balance that with making the read easy. So the exposition has been carefully put in, almost verbatim, very much the Matrix style, where there's very much a setup and a payoff, and you're paying attention and you want to listen. That's the hope. I don't know. Again, I want to see other people's reaction. The first one, people loved how I put Jack together. There's a lot there. It's confusing. It's not straightforward. It's very esoteric and very ethereal. It's hard to grasp, and that makes my book very niche. And the hope with IronVerse Comics is it's going to have everything, have a lot of things for everybody. And Jack may not be for everybody, but perhaps Cactus Coyote is for you, or Lady Silverado's for you. Lady Silverado is more the rag style book. Maybe Tracker Top Predators for you because you like quick, punchy action with big set pieces. Jack is a philosophical exploration piece, first and foremost. It has action, but it's about an immortal man who remembers the almost the entirety of human civilization through many different lives. And it's him trying to come to grips with what is human in this world that's awful that he cannot exit in any way because he's immortal. Very philosophical book, very confusing book. Hopefully fun, helps you think. It's a beautiful book. The most beautiful apocalypse I've seen put to page. So I'm really hoping people see that too, and it helps carry them through the deeper end. People think too little of their readers these days. I didn't with Jack. I gave them the book I want to read. And I don't believe I'm a simple person. So hopefully there's a lot of people out there who will book too alongside book. 45, so I'll start taking guests here in about 15 to 20 minutes. I'm not sure if I'll get any, so don't worry, folks. And if I don't, unless I have something to talk about, I probably might end it at that hour. Who knows? I gotta do this every week. I gotta put myself out there, and I gotta make sure IronVerse Comics has a voice behind it, has an energy and a wave to put out there, even if nobody is listening. And the best part is, I know people are listening, and that's just thank you again for being. Let's see. Oof. Okay, sorry. Work email. Shift went up, and I don't think I want to do that. I need my breaks. But maybe I will. I like dogs, too. Okay, well, the thing I could update you on is not quite my place yet. I'm hoping I can start getting my buddy Dollar Coins on here talking about Cactus, because I know very much, and I absolutely love Cactus Coyote, everything about it, but it would be impossible for me to portray it with absolute accuracy and to sell it with that accuracy. So the best I could do is say go read the preview manga. It's 40 pages. It's absolutely free. If the format of tapas.io is not your thing, you can also get it through our Patreon, IronVerse Comics. You can just Google search IronVerse Comics Patreon. I think it's under IronVerse Comics /Jack Irons the Steel Cowboy, but there's dashes in between each word. I could link that. I might link that later. But the point is, you can get the digital download of Cactus, all HD, real pretty, DRM free through our Patreon for $1. And if you don't like Patreon because of their Silicon Valley affiliation, then we also have a Subscribestar. Do the same thing. I'll get you your book. I'm less active on Patreon or Subscribestar than I should be. But I also don't have too much content to post there that isn't already promised to backers. So I've just been kind of trying to balance that. Cactus Coyote is IronVerse Comics, and it's not part of the backing thing. Though I did give the free first 16-page kind of part of that manga to our issue 1 backers when I delivered the issue 1 digital stuff. But I didn't hear too much about that. I don't know if people grabbed it or not. It's fine if they did. We're gonna. I have full faith in Cactus Coyote, and I can't wait to see what kind of steam we can get, because it's a different kind of book, and so much so I think it can attract both audiences who love Jack and want to see more of that universe, and audiences who would be turned off by Jack's philosophical bent and lack of real humor. Cactus Coyote's a more humorous book. It's a bit more sexy. It's definitely put an emphasis on fun, which I didn't do with Jack. Again, Jack's goal is to explore that philosophy, and it's not a fun one. So I inject dark Punisher kind of style humor in there once in a while, but it's not like Cactus Coyote. Cactus is a manic depressive almost, I'd say, and it's a different kind of comedy. It's a fun one, and it's very fitting for the universe we're building. So that's that. I think I'm going to put on another song, take one more shot. I think 2 before I do guess will be a proper number. Again, any questions, please put them in chat. I'd love to answer them. This is an AMA, so anything. It does not have to be comics related, let alone IronVerse Comics related. If you want to ask what I'm reading right now, go ahead. Also, I believe some point during the show I'll put a link to our Discord if you folks aren't already in there. I started building it. It's been a lot of fun. Got a lot of good little fun dumps, a lot of useful information for comic creators, and just a nice little atmosphere to talk about and enjoy comics, in particular IronVerse Comics. I think it's run well. It's not overrun, and you'll find a lot of creators you love actually are in here. So yeah, I'll go ahead and actually do that now. It's going to be a limited slots though, I think. Or you know what? Yeah, I think that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to do the limited slot one. I'm going to just do it. It's not going to expire, but it will only have 10 uses. So 10 of you, if you guys ever want to join our Discord, talk, mess with me, talk to our team about anything, talk to other comic creators about anything, game with me. There's a lot of cool stuff in here that I think you guys could really enjoy if you were wanting to take part. So let's type real quick. And hopefully that works. Go ahead and join if you'd like. Helps me too. It gives me a place to directly get feedback and interact with my audience and fellow creators to learn. Discord's a wonderful little app that it took me a long time to really want to do anything with. So I'm kind of glad I took that plunge. But yeah, come on in and say hello. All right. Yeah, let's do another wonderful track by Laguna Munta, at least most of one. And then I will take that second shot and open it up to guests, which may or may not come. It's quite possible we won't get anybody, in which case I'll probably only run another half hour, again, unless I can figure a way to keep on keep on talking. I do have a couple things I can talk about, actually, that are Western related. I guess that'll work. So when we come back, I'll actually start talking about a wonderful episode. Well, is it 3? About 3 episodes of Gunsmoke I absolutely adored, though one was a 2-parter. So 2 episodes. We can pull the Star Trek thing. Is that first pilot 2-parter pilot 2 episodes or 1 pilot? I do not know. I am unsure. It's one story, that's for sure, and I would consider a story an episode, though I have no idea. So you folks can go ahead and argue among yourselves if you have a strong opinion about that. I'm going to go ahead and put on Money People, because I'm hoping to put that Famine Inc. spirit in you folks, so you go buy some merch. Please do. I absolutely love seeing people enjoy our merch, and it helps me out. It helps out the channel, helps out the comics, helps out Team IronVerse, and gives us that extra kick in the ass to keep providing the best we can for you folks. And here we go, money people, Laguna Munta. Eventually, after I fast forward by accident. Then reverse by accident. Shh, nobody noticed.
Some people want a mansion up in Beverly Hills. Some people have all the fun popping champagne and pills. I just like to keep things together, that's good enough for me. Some people want a maid and $1 million too. I just want $2,000 in 3 days, and you would see what I could do. Oh, it all just sounds so simple, but nothing's for free. Gotta get me a portfolio and someone to manage it. Get told by a man in a suit about all the good things I can get. Talk about buying a mansion, I'd have enough for two. But that's just a money thing that money people do. That money people do. Take it away! I've got a new lease on life, you got a lease on your car. Yeah, it's really looking nice, but you could drive it far. But it's just another thing hanging over your head. Well, I drive an old pickup truck, got it when I finished school. No, it don't look like the prettiest thing, but I own it in full. And I won't be paying it off until the day I'm through. That's just a money thing. That's just a money thing. That's just a money thing that money people do. Count 'em. That's just a money thing. That's just a money thing. That's just a money thing that money people do. That money people do. Show me the money.
Alright, that one I did play all the way through. We'll see how that goes. No idea. You can get Laguna Munta's debut album, Plugs Out, on most of your favorite music sites. I linked Apple Music, but I believe he's also on SoundCloud and a couple other places. I could be wrong. I apologize. Laguna, you have the wrench, so if you want to find your links, you are more than welcome to throw them up into chat. Yeah, just wonderful stuff. Wonderful stuff. So, I was going to say, we were going to talk about a couple episodes of Gunsmoke I really enjoyed. One thing I've learned, I never watched it as a kid. I never really came across it much. But after Jack, I knew I needed some research, and that's a classic. You'll find a lot of Gunsmoke in issue number 2 of Jack, and I hope it's in a way fans alike, other people who may have stumbled across the old show. It's real light. I like it because it has a civility that probably didn't really happen, and it's got a edge that still happens in there. And it's a wonderful show. One episode that stuck with me I watched recently, there's an old man who our main character, Marshall Dillon, is after. This old man and his family, they're mountain folks, very separate from other people, just doing their own thing. They've been going through different little settlements and towns and houses and just killing people, burning them, just laying waste. Eventually the marshal catches him. The episode starts off with him chasing one of the sons of this old man back to their house. Eventually they capture the marshal. They overwhelm him, they capture him, and kill the kid. Good enough, back in the day. I think this is like season 9, so this would have been some point 70 or so. Anywho, the old man is on a kick. He's actually going demented, and they reveal that more and more throughout the episode. He'll have spells where he just sits and loses himself in the past. But he went crazy because his wife was murdered, who he adored. It was his whole world. His wife and his family was the one thing that made him better. Really strict religious family, which is odd how he went straight to killing, but maybe not. I don't know. Anywho, and the episode deals with his dementia, Marshall Dillon trying to escape, and the man still has a set of honor, so there's a consistent set of tropes. One of the sons, it was an hour-long episode. I love how they did that. One of the sons, after they have him captured, he'd never been beaten at arm wrestling. So at each end of the table, at one end of the table, he stabs a knife, and then Marshall Dillon's like, "What? If you're gonna play fair, you should put a knife on the other one." So there's 2 knives sticking out from the bottom of the table up, where you'd slam the hands. Marshall wins, stabs the kid's hand, and the dad just goes nuts. It wakes him out of one of those comas I was talking about, where he just kind of sit in their old room and just kind of lose himself in history and nostalgia and just completely not exist really anymore. But it woke him up because he hears hollering and they're going to kill the marshal. And he stops and he slaps the kid around. And that gives him the idea to give the marshal a fair game. And so they're going to do a manhunt. They're going to give him an hour to run out into the mountains. And even if they don't catch him with their dog, Shiloh, who's a hound dog, real good sniffer, if they don't catch him with Shiloh, then he'll freeze to death anyway because he's going to take his coat. And basically he outwits them and slowly... The marshal kills one of the kids who goes after him by himself, and then the dad starts freaking out because it's what's left of his wife. And he was a child beater. He was not a friendly father. He was an awful father in this episode. And what a trip. The episode ends with him actually getting so pissed that these 2 sons ran off on him to go find the marshal when he was having one of those spells when they're tracking him at night, that he ends up just losing himself. He was going to whip the shit out of him, and so one of the kids pulls a gun on him and says, "No, you're not going to do it this time," and then he kills his son, and then he kills his other son, and then the third son, who they tried to set up as a as the sympathetic one, the one who's like, yeah, I shouldn't be doing this in mom's name. We shouldn't be killing or hurting nobody. That son, is yelling at him, kill me too. You killed our whole family, blah, blah, blah. And then the dad just breaks down and he's stuck in one of those demented comas. Marshall catches him and such, but it was a very emotional roller coaster of an episode. They did a great job keeping me hooked from the beginning and wanting to watch this. There's a lot of Gunsmoke. I watched the first 15 and I hate the villain. To a point where it's not a good villain. And this was a solid villain. You could see his sympathies. He was doing it out of being crazy, not quite out of being that evil of a man per se. Maybe he was, but what actually happened, he was crazy. He had dementia. It was a wonderful, wonderful story for how awful it was. And that story could have been told. It didn't have to be told in a Western setting per se, but it benefited quite a bit from it. And it's that kind of emotion, that kind of exploration. I'm very glad I'm seeing already, having been done, because it's the kind of stuff I want to do with Jack. Not exactly, but a lot of it. The character goes through so many different time periods and so many different quote-unquote lives, literal and figuratively, as Jack himself. There's so much material there. I'm really looking forward to exploring it with you folks if you're kind enough to help me. No movement chat, that's fine. I think I'll close it out here. Let me see if anybody... Nope. So I haven't heard word. Anybody want to hop on with me? So that is also a factor. So I'm thinking I'm going to close this down early tonight. I've done a lot that are way too long, honestly, that nobody's going to watch. So maybe I'll do the short one where at the end when he's rambling about Gunsmoke, you completely turn it off. But that was that episode. And then there was a two-parter about chasing a man that killed the marshal's friend down in Mexico, and he meets this Spaniard. And the character and the actor were so good in that episode of the Mexican border guard is what he was. He was a lieutenant. And the story that they did and unfolded there. But that actor and that character was so good. They really could have done a spin-off, and I would love to watch it. That character's great. I don't know if he shows back up later or not, because I'm watching him kind of out of order. I'm just watching him. It's a lot of fun. I'm glad I stumbled upon that, and I'm glad it delivers. I mean, it was the longest running TV show till The Simpsons took it, and just recently too. So it says something about the Western genre to me. There's something there that you don't find anywhere else, and I'm hoping to find that little thing and then turn it into something you can't even find in any other Western. And I think we're doing that, but the more bodies of work we can put out, the better. So far, IronVerse Comics consists of 3 books, one that's not been printed, well, a couple that aren't been printed, but 2 are public. So I'm hoping... Well, and then there's a short story that has been published by Ashcan Publishing in their Old School Monsters anthology. There's a short story in there with a wonderful accompanying art piece by Jeremiah Sheik, the artist for Hush Ronin. He's an incredible talent. I'm so glad to have met. Worked with him also on a pinup. He did the inks on the Tracker pinup in issue number 2. Wonderful work. The short story I wrote in that takes place in IronVerse Comics. It takes place in the Ironverse. It involves a werewolf, but my version of a werewolf. And then I wrote another short story, also published in their Cyberpunk anthology. That's the day in the life of a Famine Inc. worker, called "Have a Wonderful Day." I'm kind of proud of that piece. It's a shit show. I love it. And it's got wonderful work too by I believe his name's Daryl Armstrong. I think it's just Armstrong for sure is the last name. But God, if I'm wrong, I feel really bad. Sorry. But those are also 2 pieces of IronVerse fiction. I believe I provide in the Patreon. You have access to read those. I might also put them in the Discord because I'm kind of curious for people to read them. I want more opinions. I haven't written that way very often, so. And right now I'm doing a 3rd piece that I am not really going to talk about, but also takes place in the IronVerse that will also come out under Ashcan Publishing and have to do with a major character in issue number 2 of Jack. So look forward to that, folks, and support your indie small comics press. This is where we all get our bones, and this is where the superstars begin. I'm not saying I'm going to be one, but I couldn't be if I didn't start. So, the more platforms we have for that, the more wonderful work we're going to see out in the environment. And yes, that means tougher competition. But you know what? I want to try up to that challenge. I want it to always get tougher. I just want better and better books out there. I want it so good that I have no idea how to make something that keeps up. That's what I want. So far, I know how to not only keep up, but kick the shit out of them. And that's not good. That shouldn't be mainstream comics. So we'll see. We'll see. If anybody's in chat, could you give me a yo? Because I want a yo. That's why. No joke. But yeah, just to let me know. Because I can really end this whenever. It's I think I've gotten out most of what needs to be gotten out. And the point to hit it every Friday. So I did that too. Proud to do that. I would be interested in any more questions, of course. I'm always interested about the comic making process. I don't know everything, but I know a lot more than I did last year. About dealing with artists, about plotting, story structure, plotting a larger universe. All things I have experience in. That doesn't mean I know much quality information, but I have experience to share, and I'd love to share it if anybody has any questions. Certainly better than talking about old things I watched, right? But I don't know. Let me know, folks. Let me know. I'm just appreciative if everyone's here. If no one's here, still appreciative that anybody comes and hears this later. Thank you so much. It's a quiet road, it's a long road, and it's a tough one. And I'm very privileged to be able to walk it. So let's see if anything off anything else here. I never really answered Tycade's question. I just went off on why I don't do variants. I actually should have told Tycade he should just draw it. I don't mind that kind of art for Jack. I have a couple pieces. It's just how it goes. But yeah. I am really looking forward to seeing the better work with issue number 2 being out there and seeing people's thoughts on it. I think it's much better than issue 1. I adore it. But who knows? Let's see here. I could do that. So, you know what? I guess I will just use you folks as guinea pigs. I am live. So we're going to play around a little bit, folks. Yeah, that's what we're going to do. I have a second, quote-unquote, scene on OBS. This one is my streaming for games and for like TV shows and stuff through rab.it. I actually have already done a few rab things through Discord, and it works. So it might be nice to try and do it through OBS, though I'm not sure how I want to do it. So you're gonna see a song list there because I have VLC up. Lots of things you can play through VLC. Let me go ahead and minimize that and see if it disappears. It does not, so I'm going to have to do it this way, and that's okay. It would be, and if you guys aren't hearing me, let me know. I'm not sure if you guys can hear me. It should be window capture, that's it. Ha ha! Huzzah! Okay. And then I can do this. So you and I, and anybody else here, are going to have some fun, because I did find out something to do. Oh, that's not the browser I want, though, folks. Let me see. That's just chat. That's nice. but I want this one. Gotcha. All right, here we go. So this is my Twitter timeline. Super entertaining, right? Let's the cool stuff. But we're gonna go through this thread that Cactus Coyote did that I didn't really go through, and I'm gonna talk to you about our process in making that first Cactus Coyote manga, because there's a lot that went on in that. It really was just he and I. That's it. 95% him. I did some remake lettering, and I did some editing, but that's about it. It's really straight from dollar coins. So here we go. I think this is the first one. Over here, you wild gamblers, got something for you to feast your eyes on. Here's part one of the original storyboard. So yeah, we're going to go through the storyboard of Cactus Coyote. He actually did 2 full storyboards before we started any kind of production on actual work. Again, why I believe so much. He loves the project. He wanted to do something in IronVerse, and he sold it to me with persistence and quality. That's how you do it. That's how I'm stoked. So here we go. Let's go through a couple. I might not know which pages these are. I might not know anything, and it might not load. Yeah. So since this was a manga, you actually call a storyboard a name. A lot of the time, the writer will actually do the name. And what a name is it's the pacing, it's the layout, and it's the rough drawing. And that's how you pitch it. And so that's what you give it's Shonen Jump. The editor reads the name before anything. You have the whole name done. You have the whole story's basically done. You've already done a mini comic of it before it even gets to the editor for approval to actually be printed. It's a lot harder work, and that's why you get a lot more burnout in manga than you do in comics. But nonetheless, I respect the art and I respect what it does. I was very happy for him to actually share. I learned a lot about manga processing too. I came in for comics and I learned about manga too. Wonderful. I believe this one, unlike what we did with the actual published version of the Cactus Coyote manga, this one might read left to right like a Western comic, unlike our manga, which reads right to left. So it looks like we start off with Somewhere in Space. Heist begin. And we get all this quality Anu ships. So the Anu Confederation is the galactic organization, and the only thing strong enough to oppose the galactic versions of the Horsemen. If you have anything close to freedom, it's because the Anu protect your borders. And they're the Confederates meets a bit of Nazis. They're not a friendly group of folks. They just don't have the racial bit because they don't really care. They're about preserving their own paradise worlds and keeping them immaculate. Making their own heavens in a universe designed for hell. And that's kind of their thing. Let me see if I can move this a little bit. Oh, it's just smaller. That's why. Can I widen it? No, it just moves it. Okay. Sorry, folks. I'm a little OCD, so we're looking at me twiddling the thing. It's not centered. All right, next page. Next page of the first name here. If it'll let me. Oh, I went through all of them. Okay, let me exit this, and we'll try just clicking on it. There we go. Yeah, we'll just have to do that. All right. Can we see his shadowy form? This is hard for me to read. I can't really read that. Sorry, folks. Oh, I decided to skip on me for some reason too. Weird. Cactus and his ship. So first off, that's probably Cactus's ship, and he's being chased by the enemy. That's the Steinwoods. To this page, we zoom into him, and we meet him. And he says what he's gonna do, and he takes off towards the planet. A boom! We hit Earth, New Deadwood. Dang. And he's in the black market in New Deadwood, which there is one. It would be very shady, and honestly, you wouldn't know any activity. It'd probably be in an abandoned apocalyptic building. That's kind of what he's got here. Some old warehouse. This thriving coyote can't pull his eyes off. Thieving, I bet, actually. Yeah, very hard to make this handwritten, but that's what you do. You're just supposed to get it done, so you can show what's going to be done before you actually put the time in. So you can get edits for pacing, all of that good stuff. Very smart how they do nominees. But, yeah, IronVerse Comics has a lot of different teams who do things a lot of different ways. And I can't wait to find more ways to do it and have more teams actually producing stuff. But we have them lined up. Just waiting for the time. You'll notice I also don't see your chats. I'm gonna go ahead and move up here. Yep. Alrighty. I'm assuming when I switch scenes, it switches with me. If you're in chat and you don't see anything I'm talking about because this isn't working, I would really appreciate you letting me know. It looks like it's working to me, so I'm assuming it's working. And so he starts this big fat guy who sells him on the job to go to a famine slave world. And basically most of the time we just see him as this shitty character. I love it. I absolutely love this Nami. Here we go, part 2. Maybe part 2 and his bits. That's what matters here. Dollar coins. Incoming kiddos, might as well do some commentary. First attempt at the story overall, this was too much info drop. For posterity, I traced Maxidalo's version of Famine on the second page. Gets you fast, redrawn, no slowing down. Yeah, he was literally just putting down a storyboard for a comic. It's a whole nother comic itself. It's just not to the quality. It's the trial run. Again, I love that version of it. Version of the comics process. I got to see everything he wanted to do before I knew it. Just some very cool stuff. Let's zoom in on some pages. So yeah, this is him talking about, it's a dangerous job. You actually have to go to a famine slave world. I've been saying famine. I think that's probably going to stick, but it is famine. But I think famine will give us some nice legal distinction. That's why we spell them all different. You could pronounce war as war or war, like in war, the band, or you could pronounce death as big. Death is pretty hard. I'll give you that one. That was just D-E-T-H. It's like Megadeth. It's very hard to mispronounce. Plague's an easy one to mispronounce. A lot of people might call him Pledge. That's kind of funny too, but yeah, it's Plague. Alright, let's go on to the next page. Oh yeah. Let's go to the next page properly. Oh good, you don't. Right on. Yeah. Okay. And more. It's really him just selling Coyote on the job. The panel layouts are fine. I like the layouts, the angles, and the artistry's fine. Again, he sold me on this version. The only thing, again, is the lettering, but so what? The main point was he wanted to present me with a comic, and he did it wonderfully. Man. Sold me on the character, too. I may have said this before, but with Cactus Coyote, he filled the gap I didn't really have. I had planned, but I had no idea how to fill. When I started making IronVerse Comics, I had planned it as like the heavy metal Justice League. Really, that's really what IronVerse Comics started off as. Heavy metal Justice League. And I wanted each character to be named after a metal, which we are doing. Even Cactus Coyote, in his own weird damn way, found a way to be named after a metal. So cool. So it's a trip, but that's the idea. And now instead of a Justice League, it's more the heavy metal Firefly meets. Oh God, what's that? What am I thinking? Like Guardians of the Galaxy, honestly. That'll be a lot of fun. It's gonna be a lot heavier than either of those, I can tell you. A lot more Western. But let's see here. Yep, selling him. Oh, we're on this last page, I think. I am going to call it short in about... there's 7 of these. I don't think we're gonna do them all tonight, folks. I think I have food to go eat. So I should do that. But I appreciate y'all for being here. We're gonna go ahead and look at this. So this was a fun page. So up till this point, I didn't really see what Cactus could do. So he didn't want to kill any Anu officers, because a lot of the Anu are just conscripts or normal folks from normal planets that they wanted to peacekeep. The Anu Confederation is the only light in the entire galaxy. It's the only thing that could stand up to these 4 complete hells that you could be just straight up born or bred into, So I understand why a lot of good-hearted folks of all kinds of different races and aliens and creeds and forms join the Anu Confederation. And then it crushes their spirit. That's part of it. But in this, we get to see him. He doesn't want to kill somebody like that. Great, I love that bit. And that's just him pulling it back. He literally shoved a gun arm shapeshift bit out of the door and then spooked the Anu officer and then pulled it back in. So you can see some of his shapeshifting bits. He's a complete shapeshifter. He could be, Odo. They couldn't explore it much because of the visual limitations of live action. But if he was animated, the crazy stuff they could have done with the character Odo from Deep Space Nine, Cactus can do a lot of that and more. In all honesty, I think I have enough time to go through one more of these, and then we'll call it. And I'll pick up the next ones next week. How about that? That'll give me something to talk about. It'll be a week old at that point, but nonetheless relevant. Alright, part 3. If you read the manga version on Tapas, I hope all you have. If you haven't, go ahead. Please do. The links are in chat all over the place, thanks to my bot. Appreciate it. If you'd at least take a look. It means a lot to us. Put a lot of heart and soul into these books. And you'll see, looking through these storyboards, what made it and what didn't. Kind of fun. I would think that would be kind of valuable for creators, so they can not repeat the mistakes we don't even know we made. That require a outside view to know. Anywho, you'll notice a lot of issue number 1, the storyboard made it into the final product. It very much did. Question is, though, is the quote-unquote final product the final product? And that's what he's saying here. And incoming in July, yeah, that's what he's talking about. So there you go, folks. Please, keep paying attention to IronVerse Comics. We've got a lot of stories to tell. Amazing artists. Great minds, good people working on these books. I mean, you could judge me for yourselves. I'm the voice, so I'm that intermediary. If you don't like me, you probably won't like our books. But if you like me a little bit, at least take a look at our books. They're not all me. Cactus Coyote is quite a bit not. But somehow it made something so much better than what I was planning. So I'm hoping every step of the way you folks will be interested and at least have the interest. If you can provide the funds too, that's something I can't do by myself. And I'm going to work hard to make sure happens. But from all of us at IronVerse Comics, thank you so much for being here. Thank you for listening, for taking time out of your day to listen to some rando talk about some rando books. Now, if you back Jack, I'm hoping I'm not just a rando and these aren't just some random books. They mean a lot to me, and I hope they mean a lot to you. The indie comic sphere is a difficult sphere to work in. It's a very difficult one to be heard in. And every day presents a new challenge and a new chance to grow and learn. And I couldn't be here without all you folks. I'll be another double negative. You might have to deal with a double negative if you can't get it out any other way. I'll never be able to state enough how much that means. I've been looking for a path in my life for a very long time, and this is the most prominent, the most enjoyable, the most fulfilling. And I really hope I get to keep doing it for years to come. The fact I was able to get so many artists a gig, get them paid a good rate, that meant a lot to me. The fact that it was coming through my ideas and through my energy, I'm very humble that folks are receptive. Now, you don't have to remain receptive, but I'd be mighty obliged if you did. Issue number 2, out in July. God damn it, if it's not, we have some damn problems, and you folks will know about it. And I'll make a very large point about any problems, because my end is done. I can do no further to get this damn book out to you folks. It's all up to Wicked Publishing, who have been nothing but gentlemen and wonderful folks getting these books to people. We have a few plans to reward backers for their patience, extras that you did not pay for, that I'm really hoping really move forward. The pinups that you did pay for, and then the one that you did not, they're just gorgeous works. I really hope you enjoy them and support the artists who put the work into it. My goal with them was to smush some artists together who may not have ever worked together into something unique. In fact, one of the pieces for Jack has a repeat piece in the Wand Pool campaign that you guys can get. Not from Jack, but from the team. So right there, I did my job with what I wanted to do with those. The fact that the team's working together again, I love it. That's what I love about comics. It brings people together to create wonderful art and stupid ideas that would never be put forward in almost any other medium. And with artistry that you don't get in any other medium. So thank you all for supporting me, for supporting my work, Team IronVerse Comics work. Thank you again. I think that calls it a night. I love y'all. I'll see you next week. Message me during the week if you have any questions. Any kind of questions that you're just curious. Comic creators, if there's any experience I can put forward to help you, I want to do it, so please ask. Let me know. I have some. I have more than others. So if I could provide that, I'm happy to. Again, thank you all for being here. I'll see you all on that old dusty IronVerse trail. And, yeah, thank you.